Hi again, I'm Brett Fair here with Tucson Media Partners, and I'm happy to be sitting alongside a good friend and colleague, Ryan Finley, sports editor of the Arizona Daily Star and Tucson.com. And we're here again to talk a little bit of UA football again. Ryan, you were with us a couple of weeks before the season started, talking about all the really amazing things that were on tap potentially for this team in Jedd Fisch's second year as head coach. And we're now a few weeks in. And so to sort of start off, how does everything shake out with where the crystal ball was a few weeks ago? Is it a little of it was right, a little of it is still work in progress? Where do you kind of see it fitting?
I think had you said to me a month ago, hey, Arizona would start 1-1, I'd be pretty happy in terms of the outcome there. You know, expectations, at least externally, have not been very high for this team. But, you know, the way they came out and blitzed San Diego State in week one, I mean, they really took the Pac-12 by storm. I mean, they had the best performance of all Pac-12 teams in week one. They were really the story. I think they regressed a little bit in week two against Mississippi State, but in many ways that's to be expected when you have a young team with lots of new players the way Jedd Fisch does. You know, I covered football for, 7 or 8 years before I became our sports editor. And one of the lessons I learned in doing that is that consistency is kind of the last thing to come, right? Is, you know, you play well one week, you play poorly the next. You know, that's just kind of what happens as you're trying to build a program. The fact that Arizona has the talent to play the way it did in week one is a definite step in the right direction. Will they play that way every week? No. But they have the ability now to win some games. And, you know, again, if we're talking about this being sort of, you know, the unofficial year one of the Jedd Fisch era, which is what he said, this is their year one, they're off to a pretty good start.
This is getting away from the football itself a little bit, but I was on campus prior to the Mississippi State game, sort of taking in the scene and the crowd for the first home game. Arizona fans traveled well to San Diego to open up San Diego State's brand new stadium.
Correct. Yeah.
How has that been in terms of what you expected, the fan sort of buy-in, the community buy-in on a team that frankly didn't win a lot the last few years and you know was going on a lot of what this coaching staff was selling, like, hey, just stick with us, just stick with us. It seems like the community has sort of bought into that a little bit.
Yeah, it's been impressive. I mean, you know, looking out in the stands Saturday or against Mississippi State, when they played them, you know, yeah, the stadium was mostly full. That's good. Mississippi State is not necessarily a glamour team. They're a good team. They're a big-time Southeastern Conference team. But it's not the kind of team that a casual fan would go fill the stadium to watch. The fact that Arizona fans wanted to see this U of A team in person, I think is a step in the right direction. You know, Tucson's interesting. I don't think you necessarily have to be a stone-cold winner to get people to come out and watch you play. But, you know, it's a blue-collar place, and they want to see that you're working hard to put a good team on the field. When I first started covering Arizona football, it was in the third year of the Mike Stoops era. They had gone 3-8 and 3-8 in back-to-back seasons for him. And opening night in, you know, year 3 of the Mike Stoops era, it was full. And it was full Arizona Stadium most nights that year. Not because they expected Arizona to go to the Rose Bowl every year. It was because they respected the work that Mike Stoops and crew had put in to put a better team on the field. And that's what you're seeing here with Jedd Fisch. I think Jedd Fisch's team might even be a year ahead of schedule. You see the work that they're putting in. You see that's translating to some success on the field. I don't know about you, Brett, but offensively, at least, this team is so much better already than what we saw last year. You know, I think that they're going to continue to make, you know, slow but steady progress. You know, consistency is going to be a problem, but they have the ability now to win some games this year, which is a step in the right direction.
Well, this kind of harkens back to something you shared with us a few weeks ago. You talked about sort of this youth movement, the fact that more than half the roster was brand new, and even transfers we can still say are young. It's college, so. But you know, the freshmen, the Tetero McMillans, and then obviously Jaden Alora coming in as a sophomore quarterback. And I want to ask you how you think they've performed so far, that sort of youth movement, but also go into the point you just made. You know, this team's interesting. The offense in particular is interesting, and for a city like this, that's enough to some degree right now while we wait to build on and watch this team win more.
Absolutely. There are pieces, right? There are pieces for a championship club on this team. And you start with Tetero McMillan, you start with Jacob Cowing, who again had 3 touchdown catches in their season opener, having never played with this quarterback before in a game, being brand new to Arizona's offense. You know, they have guys, Jonah Savanaya, that's a name I probably didn't get right, but he's a big offensive lineman for them. He's going to be a big part of what they do going forward. You know, offensively, there's a lot to dream on here. And I think that that's such a step in the right direction from last year where, Arizona really struggled. I mean, they averaged, I think it was 18 points a game last year. That's just not enough to get it done in major college football. They're doing much better this season offensively. And again, that's going to be the first step. Are we going to see that every week? No. But the fact that they're capable of scoring, I mean, we can't overlook the fact San Diego State was really good. San Diego State has won a bunch of games the last 5 years. They're physical. They're a veteran team. And Arizona really took it to them. That bodes well for Pac-12 play, I think.
So I know we're here to talk about football, but it's kind of funny as you were kind of introducing this a few minutes ago, I kept thinking the word semester, and maybe that comes from me in a past life. I worked at the university, but we're in a college town, and it's a big city, million plus people here, but kind of small college town feel, and these University of Arizona sports sort of are the centerpiece athletically, and your year sort of revolves around semesters. Again, here to talk about football, but at the same time, for the first time in a long time, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to actually see those questions people keep asking. Is it basketball season yet?
Right.
It kind of already is. We're going to actually see basketball by the end of September.
Yeah.
So here you have an interesting football team. You've got volleyball and soccer underway, golf and tennis as well, and sort of all the sports at U of A are underway. And then basketball by September 30th for the men's basketball red-blue game. Everything is going to be pretty much rolling here in the next couple of weeks. How excited are you for that as the sports editor, but also knowing what that does for this community in terms of driving interest and just getting everybody, okay, summer's kind of ending. We can go outside now and have fun with this.
You know what? It's busy, but it's fun. I would rather be, I've said this to you off camera a lot, busy is good for us. Does it mean some late nights? Absolutely, but it's exciting. I was so excited to have college football season back after what had seemed to me like a very long summer. Now, a month from now, we're going to have everything back, right? Arizona men's basketball has red-blue on September 30th. Women's basketball starts practices, and then they open their season November 10th against NAU. This is a team that has the best recruiting class in program history. We'll be competing for a Pac-12 championship. Very talented, I think, likable group, too. Same thing with the men. They're coming off a number one seed in the NCAA tournament. They have lots of exciting young players. This is going to be a really fun few months, between almost today and March. There's going to be big-time Arizona athletics being played almost all the time. And, as the sports editor, is that a little intimidating? Yeah. But, man, it is fun. It's so much better than, sitting around and wondering when the football season's going to start. That's for sure.
Well, this is a weird question, and this is off script, I promise.
Sure.
We script a little bit of this out to get it rolling, but like a good football coach, script the first 15 plays and then play the rest of the game. But
you're checking down right now. Go ahead.
So is it good for, as weird as this sounds, is it good for the community and in the basketball sense when football is still good as basketball's starting? Meaning there's still interest in football. It's not a season where 3-4 weeks from now we expect there still to be some intrigue and something happening here with this football program as basketball's getting going, and that's an overlap, kind of that figure eight sort of happening.
I think in college athletics, football success is good for everybody. It pays the bills. It pays the bills for everything. I mean, it's not men's basketball, not women's basketball. Football pays the bills for everything. So if you're the U of A, absolutely. You hope to keep football season going as long as you can, right? The good schools, the ones that do it right, it's football season from, July 15th until after New Year's Day, right? Here, like last year, maybe it was football season from July 15th till about October 15th, right? You want to extend that football season out. For Arizona fans, too. I mean, we talked about this, I think, on our last video. They played Mississippi State. They will have USC, Oregon, and ASU on their home schedule. I mean, if you can't get excited about that as a sports fan, I don't know what's wrong. Whether Arizona is, massively successful or not this year, there are some big-time opponents coming through Arizona Stadium. And for that reason, I would expect it to be football season here through, the week of Thanksgiving when ASU plays at Arizona Stadium.
Well, and we know there's a big Southern California contingent here, and so you mentioned USC coming there. How many more times
See
do they
them while
come
you still
roll through there?
can.
Yeah,
exactly.
So.
Yeah, and again, Arizona goes to UCLA, same thing, right? Hey, go to Pasadena and see them while you still can.
Go to the Rose Bowl before Arizona gets to the Rose Bowl.
Exactly. Yeah. So, no, it's exciting. And again, this is just a really special, fun time of year where, before long it'll be basketball season, women's basketball season, baseball, softball. Next thing you know, it's going to be May. So we're trying to trying to enjoy ourselves and prepare for what's going to be a very busy 6 or 7 months.
Well, I know how busy you are, Ryan. Thanks for being here with us today. We appreciate it. This is Ryan Finley, sports editor for the Arizona Daily Star and Tucson.com. I'm Brett Fair here with Tucson Media Partners. Remember to like and subscribe to our social channels and to us on YouTube, and we will be back with you soon with another University of Arizona and local Tucson sports update. Thanks so much.